Good evening. Welcome to the April 7th work session of the Lynbrook Board of Education. We will all rise, and Mr. Yeager will lead us in the salute to the flag. Roll call, everyone is present. At last month's work session, the board asked the Phase 4 Reopening Committee to reconvene to consider accelerating the timeline for the return to full-time in-person instruction for freshmen and sophomores and for any other issues that might be related. Dr. Burek, if you can update us on that progress.
Absolutely. So Mr. Reynos reconvened the secondary level subcommittee of the Phase 4 task force, and they reviewed the two options that you provided at the previous work session, and they are recommending that next week, obviously April 12th, the juniors will be back. Grade 10 will come back April 19th, and grade 9 will come back April 26th. However, they would like to reserve the right, if we have a spike in cases next week, which would be like that 10-day, within that 10-day after the spring break, that if we need to delay that sophomore return to the 26th, and then both freshmen and sophomores would come back on the 26th. But as of right now, juniors April 12th, sophomores April 19th, and freshmen April 26th is what the projection is. But one other thing just to keep in mind, and parents just should be aware of this, we're able to do this and fit everyone in because of the 3 feet regulations. However, at lunchtime in the lunch spaces, the 6 feet with no barriers, and when kids are eating, that still has to remain at 6 feet. So at the high school level, we do not have lunchroom space in order to provide all the students a lunch spot during their lunch period. So fortunately, there is an open campus. So kids, if you need to eat in school, in the high school, get there early, get a seat, because once the seats run out, we have to utilize the open campus, and students will have to go out for lunch. But we just cannot, logistically, we cannot provide a lunch spot. So I just think for full transparency, parents need to be aware of that for lunchtime. And I think the students on the committee were like, that's fine. They just want to come back. So hopefully that meets with the board's approval.
And I guess we're also anticipating, all along, we're having kids that are not coming back, and now we're allowing them all to come back. Are we dictating they all come back, or those that want to stay are still going to be able? What approach are the principals taking?
No, there are still some who are remaining remote for the rest of the year.
So there are still 3 options. No, now there's 3
Well,
options.
is there a hybrid? That's the question.
There's a remote option, a hybrid option, and the full return?
On the high school level, yes.
the high school level.
The middle schools did away with the hybrid.
Yes.
Do we anticipate there being an issue with lunch in the high school? I mean, most kids go out anyway, don't they?
Yes, we don't have
Right,
enough
okay, I'm
space
saying
for
most-
the
most
lunch.
kids go out,
So we
okay.
need to take advantage of the open campus.
And when is middle school coming back?
12.
April 12th.
April 12th.
And elementary, they're coming back April 12th, so April 12th is a big day in the Lynbrook School District.
And I guess you indicated the question about they're asking about spikes. I assume that the high school and the administration have plans in place to anticipate what may be spikes. Hopefully, things will go in the right direction, but obviously, you'll make whatever
Well,
adjustments you
right.
need to make for whatever conditions come up and so forth.
Hopefully, if anyone has been exposed, that they have stayed home this week so that we can prevent that spike. And when we do contact tracing, it doesn't impact any in-person people and put further people in quarantine. So let's hope for that. And we do that through our contact tracing. And if the contact tracing doesn't lead us to be concerned about the numbers in school, then we will stick with the 3 weeks as they are.
Apparently, these new variants are very virulent in the younger population, and one of the theories, too, is there's been a big spike in a younger population, and youth sports has been a cause for concern,
Yes,
so we
I
have
heard
to
that.
really keep an eye on things very closely.
Absolutely. However, I was at South Middle yesterday, and it was so nice to see almost every one of our fields at South Middle School being utilized by students, and everybody seemed to be having a good time with their masks on, so that was good.
And as of yet, we have no guidelines as to what the state will require for the fall. I assume we're just continuing to monitor that and waiting to see what they tell us what
Still
options we
waiting.
have to present. I mean, also along those lines, the state has opened up the number of people that can attend a board meeting. It was 33% or 100 based on capacity. That means we can extend where we are now about 50. We can probably open up to about to 76. Is the board comfortable with maintaining in this room for now and to see all those numbers go? We're not really the biggest sellout in the community of attendees, but we should at least announce that so that that option is available. Any other questions for Dr. Burek on this issue? Ms.
I'd
Pascal?
just like to bring something up before on an unrelated subject. The Boces Budget is, our next board meeting is on a Tuesday night, because it's a Boces night, not the Wednesday night. We won't be meeting again before that meeting. If anybody, I have 2 copies of the proposed Boces budget. If anybody is interested, there is some information about Lynbrook in there. If anybody's interested, I can certainly pass it around. And, okay. And if also, there's a meeting tomorrow night, if anybody's interested. It's a Zoom meeting on, and they will be talking about the budget. So there are no other candidates. There are only 3 candidates for board positions, so it's sort of a moot point who we vote for that night. But if you're interested in the budget, we do vote on the Boces budget as well.
Thank you.
Bill, just to echo what Mr. Belmont has said in the past many times, I'd like to just thank Mr. Reynes and the committee. The flexibility and the fluidity that we've been showing as a district, the administrative team here and the administrative team and the teachers and everybody throughout the whole, I think this is just another example of, them getting together at a minute's notice and, as things change, the regulations are changing, and they were able to move swiftly. So I congratulate the committee and all the heads of the committee, Mr. Reynes and whoever else was heading, the parents, the students. So.
And hopefully, we're moving in the right direction. Spring always brings that sense of renewal, and hopefully now we're getting on top of this virus. We're able to get our kids more and more closer to what normalcy was before. But again, we still have to make those right decisions about what we're doing, especially on indoor gatherings and on the weekends as the weather gets nice. But hopefully we're going in the right direction, getting more kids into the school and getting ourselves back to the place we want to be at. So hopefully that'll all be good. Seeing anything else from the board, moving on to superintendent's recommendations. We have 1 resolution tonight. I may have a motion to accept Resolution 2104 NC1. Mrs. Dinino, second. Mr. Paskoff. All in favor? Thank you. Our next board meeting, as Mr. Paskoff indicated, will be on Tuesday, April 20th at 7:30 because of the Boces budget vote. Look forward to seeing everyone there with our new increased attendance. Should be exciting. At this time, I'd like to have a motion to go into executive session to discuss matters of personnel. Mr. Yeager, second. Mr. Pileski, all in favor? Thank you. All stay safe. See you on the 20th.